The dark psychology of Ghost and Power. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Let's get into it.
Analyzing the psychology for this character isn't just for entertainment, but provides you with a blueprint of how, and more importantly, how not to navigate your life. And this character is
What you
James St.
mean?
Patrick.
What do you mean not live your life like James St. Patrick? Why wouldn't you want to live your life like James St. Patrick? Why wouldn't you want to be Ghost? Like, are you serious? Have all the women thrown at you. You got a nightclub, the top tier drug dealer in the gang. The whole streets fear when they hear your name, Ghost. The feds are on your the feds are on your ass. I ain't gonna lie to you, but they can't catch you. You getting you getting some cutty thrown at you every other week. Why would you want to be James St. Patrick? That man got straight riz. Well, why not?
Also known as Ghost from the TV show Power.
Still have a choice, Miguelito.
Oh my god,
Let's go ahead.
bro, that right there, one of the best opening scenes ever in a TV show. Period. Period. I mean that. This man, literally, this man, what, first 10 minutes of the show? This man go down the elevator. He's running the nightclub, showing you everything. Next minute, he transitioned to, I'm not afraid to kill you. Like,
Se
what?
habla, matan mi familia.
Look at that.
I'm not afraid to die. And I'm not afraid to kill you.
Oh my
This
God.
line of dialogue before ruthlessly killing another man doesn't come out of someone with a regular mind.
Yeah, that man, James St.
Ghost has
Patrick, is
very
not
desirable
regular.
traits at times. He's smarter than everyone, he's rational, and he's good at finding success in both the streets and in legit business. And most viewers typically loved watching him in the show, but his good traits can sometimes blind them to the dark psychological traits that he portrays. So by watching
Man,
the
I ain't gonna
film
lie to
till
you.
the end, you'll be able to unblur the lines between the true character of Ghost and get a psychological understanding of his behavior via the important decisions and major life events that shaped him.
Man, Ghost, I ain't gonna lie to you. He hit the T on every single one of them cards that popped up. He's a liar, he's a cheater, he's a manipulator, he's all of that. That man's a sociopath. That man, I'm not gonna. Yeah, you hit every mark on this T, my boy.
This is the dark psychology of Ghost.
All right, let's get into it then. Let's dive into Ghost's mind, if you think you know it. Chapter 1.
James
Ghost's
St.
life.
Patrick was born in 1980 and was raised by his father. His mother was absent for some reason we don't find out about. His
Bruh, first of all, who is this nigga right here? Curtis St. Patrick. Who is this nigga right here? I ain't never heard in the whole entirety of the show they talking about some Curtis St. Patrick. And they ain't never showed this man what he looked like. So who is this nigga right here, bro? Who is that man, bro? We do not know that man. That is a I don't know
father
him.
was a businessman who owned nightclubs, but one day he was killed undeservingly by some drug dealers whilst James was still young. So James moved in with his friend Tommy Egan, who he befriended after stopping some boys that were jumping him. Tommy's mother had
Okay.
little to no money and was struggling financially.
Okay.
So to try and fend for themselves, James and Tommy started selling drugs and became affiliated with Kanan and Breeze, two more experienced drug dealers who
Yep.
mentored them. They were taught the game of the
That
streets
sound like the
and
story.
how to move. James quickly became really good at it and gained the alias Ghost for being able to sell the drugs and disappear before the police could catch him.
According to that man Kanan, hey, you ain't gotta be faster than you ain't what he say? You ain't gotta be faster than the cops. No, he said you ain't gotta outrun the cops. You just gotta be faster than us. Man, Kanan was a straight hater, bro. I ain't gonna lie
Ghost
to you.
realized that being near the bottom wasn't for him and set his sights on the top. He felt
Exactly.
within that he had the potential to be the biggest drug dealer in New York,
Exactly.
but he was still a long way away, and there were multiple steps he had to carry out in the long term.
Just like his stupid tail son, bro.
His first step was to kill Breeze, his own mentor, who he saw as a liability. Kanan understood and took over. James grew up a
True.
bit, he found a wife, Tasha, and had 3 kids with her,
True.
Kamrina, and the youngest child, Yasmin. Tasha wanted to see him be the biggest drug dealer in New York just as much as he did.
Exactly. But the problem with that girl Tasha was not She didn't love my man James St. Patrick for who he was, man. She loved Ghost, but she didn't love James. What's that analogy? They love everybody loves Spider-Man, but they walk past Peter Parker every day, man. Everybody wants Spidey, but they walk past Peter Parker every single day. I'm trying to tell you, they don't want to see you at your top game. They only want you for your money, G.
Ghost realized early on that any person who's in your way on the way to the top needs
get
to be
up out of it.
eliminated.
You gotta get up out of
So they
there.
conspired to take Kanan out. Ghost didn't want to kill Kanan out of love.
Exactly. That girl right there, she told him to kill him. Don't forget that part, boy.
So they set him up to get him sent to prison, which succeeded. And with him out of the way, Ghost gained more power, with
True.
Tommy being his right-hand man. This was the start of Ghost's journey to doing whatever is necessary to make it to the top position in the streets. But that was Ghost. He's James St. Patrick to the public eye. His brain quickly turned to ensuring he could make his money legit.
No cap.
Taking inspiration from his dad, he opened a nightclub called Truth, which became very successful.
Yep.
His success in the street life as the main distributor for his boss Felipe Lobos, and his
Felipe
success in the nightclub
Lobos.
business enabled the separation
Lobos.
between Ghost and James St. Patrick. The same physical presence, two different spirits.
Technically.
From this point onwards, James's actions
Because anybody that met Ghost, say goodbye.
became directed towards how he could get what he wanted without a care for how other parties involved are affected. Ghost's actions definitely need to be highlighted, but with the show being 6 seasons long, I'm not going to recap every single one of his actions and decisions, but we will cover the most significant events that give us an insight into Ghost's dark psychology.
Okay. I know these niggas ain't just hit me with an ad, G.
Yes. Yes.
A behavior of Ghost that becomes abnormally prominent is murder. In
Yeah.
terms of the show alone, we're aware that Ghost has killed at least 18 people.
Dang. Man, that's just 18 people that they showed.
Many of them may have
That's
been
just 18 people that they showed.
Malone.
Breeze in the back of the head. Bro, dude, I do not remember Miguel ever. Okay, shot in the head, roll up in the chest, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I do not remember them telling he shot Breeze in the back of the head. Did? Okay, Terry Silver, I remember you, old buddy. You just had to keep messing with Tasha. You just had to be. You just had to keep messing with Tasha. Felipe Lobos shot to death with
But
Tommy
he was
Egan.
a
You can say that.
drug lord who forces James back into the drug game after
Pit
he tried
slash
to
with
leave
Tommy Egan.
and threaten the lives of his family. Ghost realized the only way this predicament was escapable was ending the life of Malone, which he did. Although Ghost is logical 90% of the time, he couldn't prevent emotions overwhelming him when it came to Clyde Williams, a
True.
prison marshal that verbally and physically
Yeah, bro, cause that man, the bootleg Santa from freaking Friday, that nigga right there, he got on my nerves too. I ain't gonna lie to you. That man talking about some inmate. He was being a dick, bro. I promise to you, that man was being a dick. But that's how some inmates. I mean, that's how some guards are. Period, bro.
abused Ghost whilst in prison. Ghost was framed for killing an FBI agent after his fingerprints were placed at the murder scene, gaining him the temporary label of a cop killer whilst in prison, and facing the charge of a death penalty if found guilty. Despite knowing this, Ghost risked actually getting the death penalty.
Literally.
After Clyde Williams,
Bro, that man killed him. Well, y'all about to see, but that man literally killed this nigga in the gym after working out. Even though he tried to kill my man dropping the bar on his neck and shit. Was that the same part or was that a little bit different? I think that was a different scene. Either way though, this man really dropped the bar on my man Ghost's neck, tried to kill him. So you got that shit. You got it coming, my boy. You had it coming, my boy.
spoke about Tasha and the kids in a derogatory manner. Ghost fought him,
Exactly.
eventually smashing his head in with a heavy weight plate and
Yep.
killing him.
Yeah.
Luckily, another prisoner, Tony Teresi, was able to execute a plan to prevent him from
And that
getting
man,
caught.
exactly.
But more often than not, Ghost used murder as a pure means of business or protection, willing to kill anyone he deemed a threat or a risk to the street business.
Hey, like you said, you get in the way of my future, you got to get up out of here.
When he tried to kill or take out his crime associates who he believed would snitch on him if the police questioned them. And he actually killed a couple of them, which is smart in his eyes and works out for him, but is obviously very immoral and puts his dark mind into question. So murder is something Ghost is often associated with, whether he's doing it himself or getting Tommy to do it, as he prefers Tommy doing a lot of the physical things while he summons up the ideas, which derives from Ghost's apparent tactic to use others as much as he can for his own advantage.
Bro, how I look at it, You use people, just don't misuse them. Because if you're useless, then what are you here for? Everybody has to be used. And if you're useless, what are you here for? So just don't misuse them. Ghost, I ain't gonna lie to you. He did mislead a lot of people. He didn't he didn't tell the truth to a lot of people. He did use others to get things done that he needed. But it's because he couldn't do them himself. So he was like, look, I gotta get the thing done. Tommy, you gonna enjoy it anyway? Tommy was gonna enjoy it anyway. You know, Tommy loved the gang life.
Whether it's people in the legal system, investors, politicians, or other gang
And all they did was just use Ghost, so he just used them. Use them how you use them how they use you. Period.
members, Ghost will find a way to use them to his advantage.
Exactly.
Even if it leads to their demise. His actions would suggest he doesn't.
That man Dre was a snake. He deserved everything he had coming.
That's probably why it's easier for him to have an affair, repeatedly cheating on his wife with FBI agent Angela Valdez.
No. Sorry for pausing, y'all. I know I'm pausing a lot, but look. No. Angela, Tasha did not want to see my boy at his highest. So the day when he asked Tasha, he said, what do you see me as? The biggest drug dealer in New York City and nothing bigger than that? That was the day Tasha was completely out of his mind and Angela was completely right there in the front. After that, it was no more Tasha and Ghost.
Split after she moved away. After rekindling things with her, he slowly alienates his own family, as well as putting Angela's career in jeopardy.
See, he shouldn't have did that. But
this
Tasha
doesn't just lead to a separation when his wife finds out, but his son Tariq also develops a pure hatred for him. But no matter who was affected, James got his fulfillment.
James got his
For a long time,
fulfillment.
Ghost was able to navigate this affair using his traits of lying and manipulation. Something we see he do not just in his romantic relationships, but in almost every situation he's a part of. He lies as long as it will gain him an advantage, and he manipulates to ensure things go his way. For a long while, it was though Ghost could do wrong to everyone else without having to endure much suffering himself, and he knew this. And perhaps this contributed to his arrogance. The reign truly felt like it would last forever. That wasn't until his bad deeds caught up with him and the ones he loved.
That was pretty sad, I ain't gonna lie to you. But I blame Tariq for that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I blame Tariq. Nobody else. I don't blame Ghost. I blame Tariq.
Raina was shot after verbally defending Tariq from a man named Ray Ray who was trying to kill him. Raina's
Sad.
death changed James.
Completely.
Thinks killing the man responsible for Raina's death will ease his pain, but Tariq gets there first, killing for the first time. However, it doesn't end. James is distraught. He breaks down at her funeral,
Yes, he did.
apologizing to her for not being able to protect her. At first, he starts projecting the blame onto others, blaming Tasha, blaming Tariq, blaming God, and eventually begins to drink.
I blame Tariq. Simple. Nobody else but that badass kid right there. That badass nigga right there. I blame him. He's still a badass little nigga.
Spiraling out of control. Then, after going to church, he realizes that he has a big part to play, and the guilt floods him, but also makes him take actions he believes will alleviate the pain.
It's
He
not.
plans to start the Queen's Child Project, a building made in remembrance of Raina, along with Councilman Rashad Tate. But this
That's my nigga right there.
avoidance of emotions doesn't help him, and his life turns into a downfall. After he finds out a drunk driver killed a young boy, he feels as a form of vengeance for Raina, getting rid of another kid killer will help, and he brutally murders that drunk driver to give him some cathartic
Oh my
relief.
God.
But this doesn't completely eradicate his emotions. He murders Terry Silver, a lawyer who was sleeping with his wife Tasha, out of pure rage.
Bro. He should have knew better, bro. He know. That man Terry Silver knew that James. Well, no, cause James he kept trying to have like a good face with Terry Silver. So either way, I feel like Terry knew. That man knew that Ghost was a crazy sociopath ass nigga. He kept on messing with Tasha. He just kept on doing it, bro. You don't mess with niggas like that, bro. You don't mess with a girl like that, bro. You don't do that. So he met his demise too. Simple.
He and Tommy begin to fall out more and more as time goes on, due to disagreements becoming a common occurrence. It gets so bad that Tommy actually shoots at James whilst with Angela, hitting her and killing the only person he still
So
had a connection
basically,
with.
I'm sorry. I'll be pausing a lot. I'm sorry, but I'm really in tune in this damn video. But that's crazy. That man Tommy was really aiming at Ghost. So Ghost would have been dead already if Angela didn't save his life. That's crazy.
He feels responsible for Angela's death because she only stayed with him because of his promise to leave the drug game and move away with her, which he genuinely wanted to do but couldn't fulfill, flooding him with more guilt.
Yeah.
But not all is lost, and he realizes what he needs to do to successfully remove himself from the drug game for good and stop all of these consequences. His last resort arises from being elected to be Lorette Walsh's running mate, the political opponent of Rashad Tate, cementing himself in politics and distancing himself from crime, fully becoming James St. Patrick, making him appear untouchable. However, his violence, murders, and other sins catch up to him. Tariq confronts him about his hate for him and how he ruined their family, and he shoots him in the chest, killing him.
Damn. That shit hurt. No, you didn't.
Ghost lived a complicated life,
Bro.
experiencing the highest of highs and having a downfall all the way to an
Why? Why, Tariq? Why?
Having a wide range of psychological issues that led to consequences, he becomes a fantastic character to analyze.
That's true.
And although we can't go inside his brain and give an official diagnosis, we're definitely not short of theories.
Ghost is mine.
One
Ghost
theory
mine.
is that Ghost has split personality. James St. Patrick doesn't have an actual dissociative disorder, but operating as both James St. Patrick and Ghost must be exhausting. However, he fully identifies with Ghost, which is just an alias but can turn him into a murderer. Think of it like Bruce Wayne and Batman. Bruce Wayne is just a guy that was rich off his parents and doesn't care much for the world outside his mansion. Batman is a man of the people whose core values are protecting the city,
Man of the
stopping
people.
bad people by any means necessary.
Nigga ain't man of the people.
James constantly battles living two different lives, wanting to fully become legitimate but never being able to leave the streets. He was so good at being Ghost that abandoning the life wasn't an
It was so
easy
good
process.
at being
The effect
Ghost.
this has on him is an emotional disconnect. James St. Patrick is a businessman with a wife and kids. Ghost is a killer that has no emotion and kills anyone in his way.
True.
Switching between them makes him see his regular life with the same mentality as the street life, getting what he wants and not caring about who suffers as a result. He wants Angela and doesn't care that Tasha or the kids will be hurt by this. He wants to maintain a good image and doesn't care if he's manipulating investors and politicians. He's a murderer who plays the role of a good citizen as a disguise, which he does really well due to his manipulative nature. But
He is a good guy. He's a bad guy that deeply wants to be good. It's simple.
again, this is not enough to give us an actual dissociative disorder to work with, and we can't officially say he has split personality, but these contradicting lives definitely have an effect on his psychology. His detachment of emotions come from his lack of vulnerability. Ghost realized very early on, probably due to his friendship with Tommy, who's really hot-headed, that being emotional in decision-making can lead to recklessness and regretful actions or words. So he completely embraced this and detached from his emotions, never connecting himself 100% emotionally to anyone or anything. This makes it easy for him to kill anyone without caring, or to cheat on Tasha without caring. And this is mainly a good thing for the street life because he's rational and makes decisions. It allows him to have patience and make moves when the time is right. Rarely does he make reckless decisions in the spur of the moment. Only on the odd occasion it can overwhelm him, like he did with the prison marshal.
Yeah.
But let's say 90% of the time he maintains logic. Therefore he is more confident in his decision making and doesn't have to hesitate when taking action.
True.
The downside, however, is that he stays out of touch with his own emotions as James St. Patrick, making him bottle everything up. Killing people, betraying people, and lying as Ghost can all take a toll on his subconscious over time. But detaching himself from his emotions is a choice he makes to deal with this cognitive dissonance that is just business. Cognitive dissonance is
It's just business. I feel like Conor McGregor. It's just business.
Whether he sees killing as a bad thing or not, he views it as beneficial for the safety of the business and his family in the long run, so he doesn't care. As a result, he never has to face the emotional repercussions of his actions. In Season 5, we saw his life slowly deteriorate as Raina's death brought out emotions that he had bottled up. It flooded him with overwhelming guilt and made him turn to drinking and reckless killing. Although being logical is better than being emotional, completely disregarding and suppressing your emotions isn't helpful in the long run. A lack of vulnerability obviously isn't a condition.
How do you know?
but it makes you
My man hit the gym.
susceptible
He
to
good.
conditions. Ghost shows signs of having severe egotism, and another theory could be that he's an
Egomaniac.
egomaniac. An egomaniac.
Bro, If you was Ghost, you have an ego too, bro.
Is someone who has an obsessive preoccupation with themselves and their own desires, often at the expense of others. They have an inflated sense of self-importance and believe they're superior to others. This can lead to a disregard of the feelings and needs of others and a tendency to manipulate and exploit those around them for their own gain. Ghost at the heart does only care about himself and his own goals and desires, and definitely gets there at the expense of others.
He out for Dolo. Like I said, he out for Dolo, just like his son. His son is just like him. So his son can't get mad at Ghost because you just like your daddy, boy. Even though I just turned that whole thing against Tariq, and it's supposed to be about Ghost. I got problems against that nigga Tariq.
Utilize vehicles to get there, but I wouldn't say his self-importance is inflated. Ghost has genuine street cred. His name is feared and holds a lot of weight. He's a man of action. He gets female attraction. He has a successful, legit business. He's in great shape and has great people skills.
Like I said,
so he did develop great qualities, but he didn't get there from playing by society's rules. He became a killer and a manipulator to ensure he got what he believed he deserved.
You gotta get your hand dirty, man. You gotta build yourself up.
Labeling Ghost as a narcissist requires some analysis. From the start, he's always thought about himself. As soon as he got into the drug game, he was already eyeing the top spot and had big dreams. But he knew he had to bide his time and never outshine the master until there was a perfect opportunity to get them out the game. He would show love to people's faces, but then take them out when he felt it was necessary. He fantasizes about success and power, and manipulates and lies to ensure he achieves them. As we know, he's killed many people to ensure he got there. He takes advantage of other people's love for him. He cheats on Tasha whilst acting loyal to her face. Kanan was his mentor and was teaching him the rules of the game before Ghost set him up. Ghost wanted to be the biggest drug dealer in New York and killed anyone who was a liability. He also wanted to have multiple nightclubs to make legit money, and understood the need to use relationships with people in power to give him these opportunities. He makes Tommy do his dirty work for him to distance himself from the consequences.
That is true.
Himself when he determines necessary. These are the symptoms for narcissistic personality disorder, and he covers quite a lot of them. A couple of rebuttals for this accusation would be that he made the money to take care of his family. He wanted his kids to go to college and to not live the life he did. Therefore, his intentions might have not been selfish and for a good cause in his eyes. It was just circumstance that got him there. Maybe he adopts these traits on purpose because he understands how power works, and to make money for his family, he needed power. For a long time, he just wanted to be a legit businessman, but didn't understand you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't just reap the rewards of street life and abandon it without the repercussions eventually catching up.
That's true.
Whether he's consciously doing these actions or not, he does mirror a narcissist.
You're not lying about that, buddy.
His desire for power may raise cause for an accusation of Machiavellianism. His
Machiavellianism.
really resonate with the Machiavellian personality.
Machiavellianism. What the fuck is that?
Using strategies to gain power and prestige. Ghost literally behaves as if he studied the 48 laws of power, and definitely displays behaviors that seem strategized and calculated in order to gain power. Machiavellian leaders maximize their personal power. Ghost dominated the streets, legit business, and eventually succeeded in politics.
How this video going is gonna give me a lot of information. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm learning a lot.
He maximized his power to the highest possible extent. Moral and ethical standards do not matter to Machiavellians. Cheating, lying, killing. It's not even that the killing doesn't matter to him, he's just desensitized to it. After detaching his emotions and creating cognitive distance.
You gotta desensitize yourself from it, so it don't hurt so much. You know what I'm saying? In that game, you got to.
That murder was necessary to succeed in the crime business, he killed.
Or you're gonna drive yourself crazy. I feel like it. And that type of work that, bro, the stuff that Ghost and them niggas be doing in the streets, I feel like you got to. If you don't, you gotta desensitize yourself from that type of stuff, because if you don't, you'll go crazy, bro. Like, you would definitely go crazy, I feel.
Breeze. After that, he probably became accustomed to that feeling, knowing it was only the beginning. In the first episode of Power, before killing Miguel, Ghost responds to Miguel's statement, "I'm not afraid to kill you," by stating, "And I'm not afraid to kill you." He then shoots Miguel in the head without hesitation, displaying no visible emotional effects, guilt or trauma. It appears he's okay with it. Again, no matter how much you like Ghost, it's hard to not attribute the Machiavellianism personality type to him also. The main question that always raises debate is whether Ghost is a psychopath or a sociopath.
Antisocial personality disorder.
But we have to look at what psychology says. The main reason Ghost could fall into the antisocial personality disorder realm is because of his lack of empathy. He doesn't care how his actions will affect others, he only cares that he doesn't get caught. However, his love for Angela combats the accusations. Can psychopaths and sociopaths love? Well, yes, they actually can, but just not to the extent of regular individuals. His willingness to stay with her even when he finds out who she is, and his distraught at her death makes it more balanced. Another thing that really puts it into question is his ability to display guilt. Psychopaths and sociopaths lack guilt, but Ghost feels really guilty for both Raina and Angela's deaths. Again, up for debate. If we assume that Ghost has these three traits, we could potentially conclude that he has the Dark Triad personality type.
Dark
The
Triad.
Dark Triad is a psychological theory of personality first published by Delroy Paulus and Kevin Williams in 2002. It describes three personality types that are notably offensive but non-pathological, as displayed on the screen. The last thing I want to do in this series is force a theory onto a character, but I just can't help but see a resemblance between Ghost and the qualities in the Dark Triad. On the Joe Rogan podcast with Jordan Peterson, hearing him talk about the Dark Triad makes me see Ghost in this light. Ghost is Machiavellian because his thought process when he meets up with someone in crime or business is, how can I use this person to my advantage to gain the upper hand?
True.
Before he manipulates them and gets his benefits using them as a pawn to get ahead.
True.
In terms of narcissistic personality disorder, a narcissist wants social status without doing any of the work and wants all the attention. Ghost does all the work, and I wouldn't say he's a narcissist. He has the attention but doesn't do things for attention, so this deviates him from the Dark Triad. I would have to say Ghost has psychopathic traits. People could call him a sociopath, assuming that he was molded into this character by Kanan, just like Tariq was. Psychopaths are assumed to have a genetic predisposition, yes, but sociopaths are known for being hot-headed and impulsive, like Tommy. Psychopaths are cold and calculated, just like Ghost.
Okay.
Either way, his lack of empathy and ability to repeatedly murder and continuously cheat put him in the realm of severe antisocial personality disorder.
Okay.
Only having 2 out of the 3 eliminates him from being in the Dark Triad in my eyes. However, these are just my theories.
But it's 2 out of 3 though. So 2 out of 3, still positive. Give it to him.
With all the information given, I would love to hear your viewpoint in the comments.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like Ghost is just simply that nigga.